thing. So, this is one of our numerous interviews that we usually host here at Rhemma Consult, um, your one-stop solution for immigration services. Um, at Rhemma Consult, we offer comprehensive immigration and services that are tailored to meet the diverse needs of our clients worldwide, including specialized assistance for individuals to self-petition for employment-based green cards. Um, uh, we understand that immigration is not just about paperwork, it's about dreams, aspirations, and building a better future. That's why we also offer individual and family immigration services to assist in navigating the complexity of temporary visas, marriage-based green cards, diversity visa, naturalization, citizenships, and humanitarian relief. Today, we are here with one of our esteemed clients. I want to remember his nickname. Is it Makunos? Yeah,
You
that
got it
is
right.
yeah, that is his nickname, Makunos. Yeah. Um so we before we go in to say anything like start the discussion of whatever, let tell us a little bit about yourself and yeah, who is Michael? Michael Say.
All right, thank you, Doc. So first of all, let me explain the Makonos. It looks
Okay,
like it looks like it was a name of destiny because Makonos is actually my name, my
okay,
names
oh,
with
okay,
with the suffix of the US, which meant United States. So
oh, okay,
so yes, the M stands for Michael, A stands for Enim. I'm a Tuesday born, so the K stands for Kwabena, and the O is Osei.
oh,
And
okay,
my home, or the common name that everyone calls me at home is Nana. So
oh,
that's the
okay,
Makon, Makon. And then
oh,
the
okay.
US is, yeah, so that's Maknos, yeah.
Oh, I see. So there's a history behind that name.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
Thanks for
this name
sharing.
came about in 2003. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Even before coming to the United States.
So as you said, it's a dream and an aspiration. That's
Oh,
true.
okay. Interesting. So thank you for sharing that. How do you feel about the approval notice? Are you
Huh.
excited?
So let me start by um, um, telling the story of how I ended up in the United States. And
Okay.
everything that I say, I'm a Christian, so everything that I say, even if it might be the doing of either me or anyone who helped, I give all the glory to God through His Son Jesus Christ. So yeah, yeah. So the the journey to the United States started from Ghana, and it started through my wife. She, I mean, she was very how should I put it? Persistent. She was focused. She wanted to come here to further her education. And initially when she started, I was like, don't you think it's too early? Because we had a new baby, the one that I'm carrying in the picture. But later I realized that no, when opportunity knocks on the door, if you don't open it, it might go and may never come back. So yes, I supported her, and she got an admission. She came here with the F1. 7 months later, me and the two girls joined her. over here. So I came here with F2 visa. And then when I got here, after the first year, my wife was like, no, you can't just stay here without doing nothing. I already have a master's degree in radiation protection. I'm sorry, I didn't say much about myself from the beginning. So I'm a radiation therapist. I was a radiation therapist in Ghana. I was working at the radiotherapy department. Yeah, so I have a master's degree in radiation protection. I came here, my wife was like, no, you can't just sit around. Whilst I'm in school, you are just home doing nothing. So why don't you find something to do? And it will be better for us because then your status will change from F2 to F1. And I was like, okay. So she helped me. Um, Even the course that I wanted to do, it is not run here in the state that we are or in the city that we are. We are in North Dakota, Fargo, precisely. And she is doing her PhD in NDSU as North Dakota State University. Yeah. So yeah, I applied for public health. That's what we settled on. And then I got admission. And then I changed my status from F2 to F1. So long distance short, my wife, who never gives up, started with you with the NIW. So for our listeners, this is where I can say that there are a whole lot of opportunities. If you know that you are eligible to apply or to change your status through diverse means, take all the opportunities because you may never know which one will be successful. So she started with the NIW. I don't know if she has even checked it now whether there's a good news or not, but she doesn't need it anymore. Yeah. And then the one there was this guy who usually always talk about this visa lottery, and I ne I wouldn't say I never believed in it, but I never thought I could win. We never thought we could win or anything, but we tried. She said, okay, Michael, let's try. So the first year, that was in 2003, we tried. We didn't succeed. The second year, I didn't want to do it. So she called me and said that you just put it in. After all, it's free. All you have to do is just submit. So just do it. And then I did it. Checking for the result too was another issue. It was 1 midnight. She was up. I was sitting behind my laptop and she was like, have you checked? The result is out. I said, oh, what do you expect? It's going to be the same old story. And then she said, you just check. After all, the results are out, so it's better to know. And then I did. I checked mine first and mine was selected. I checked hers. Unfortunately, it wasn't selected, but it was a good news because what we did was um, we applied in her name, and then I became her spouse. And then I also applied in my name, and she became my spouse. So we had two chances of winning. So whichever way it went, it's a win-win situation for both of us. So I wouldn't claim the glory, or I wouldn't claim that I have won. So we have won, we were selected. And we didn't know what to do next. And this my same wife said, okay, Dr. Drew is doing this. So why don't we contact him? And we did. And then you gave us a very good offer because we were already signed on with you with the NIW. And I appreciate that. I acknowledge that. And what I'll tell my listeners is that you see, it's so funny just how it started with my wife, with her forcing me to do everything, to check, to do everything. I'm not saying this as an advertisement. This is very true, and I am being very honest. After we went through the whole process and everything that we did, I mean, I would say that it looks like you know exactly what you were doing because all the information, all the documents that we sent, I think that is the reason. And I'm going to jump ahead a little bit because I want people to know that we didn't go for any interview. We didn't go for any interview. So whatever document that we sent probably answered all the questions that they were even going to ask if we had gone for interview. So there was no need. Um, Dr. Odro will call me, Michael, have you checked your mail? I was like, oh no, doc, I don't think. I said, just go check. Our mailbox is just right here, so I'll just go and then our letters will be there. So the first one was the approval of our submission. The second one was the receipt. And then that was where the tension started because it took us so long. Everything was submitted in October, and then it took us up to May to get our result. Then again, my wife was like, Michael, have you checked the status of our results? I was like, you know what? I have, you asked me to do the registration with the USAI's website, and I was expecting that for whichever stage that they get to, I'll get either an email or a text message. I wasn't getting any. So one morning I was like, no, look, I can't do this. And she told me, give me the details. So she went to check, and she was the first to know that our application has not only been approved, but our card was being processed. That was the status that came, that our card is being processed. Within 2 weeks, we got our card. And yeah, here we are as permanent resident within 3 years.
Yeah.
And I know people have been here for a very long time. And
Yeah.
so it's by grace. Yeah.
Yeah. The joy that when you see that I think the letters that come in, they say welcome to the United. They tell when the card comes, they usually would send welcome to the United States. And this time the United States government is welcoming you as a permanent resident in the United States. Yeah. That
Yeah.
feeling is very, very mutual. Um, we usually call it green card, but actually, I don't think the card is actually even green itself. But anyway, so thank you so much for sharing that. I guess one thing we are all interested in is like, what made you to decide to use Rhemma Consult? Like, why didn't you go anywhere else?
Um, okay. Uh, my wife is not at home with me right now, but
Mhm.
she's online.
Oh,
Can I
yes.
give her the opportunity to tell us why she decided for us to still deal with you? Because she will
Okay.
be the best person to tell us.
Okay, no problem. Sure. Dr. Tina,
Okay.
go for it.
If she's listening.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sure
she
she's
is.
listening, pa.
You are muted.
Okay. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so my name is Augustina. I'm Michael's wife. And the question is, what made us choose Rema?
Yes, that is the question.
I actually got to know Rema the first time through you gave a talk to Ghanaian students through Beckham. I was the vice president then at NDSU, and Beckham was the president. So we invited you, you gave a talk, and everyone wanted to. That's when we all got to know about NIW actually, and everyone was hoping to do it. But I got to really know you through Godson, I whom you helped for him to also get his NIW approved. I had then registered for with one I don't want to mention it, like one company I was dealing with who had taken a huge sum of money, and it ended up looking like I'm actually the one doing all the work because I have to write, and when they edit and it comes back in my own words. I wasn't seeing anything different from what I was doing. So I asked myself, why am I paying all these amounts and someone else? I mean, I'm doing the thing myself. So that's when I discussed the God thing. And he mentioned, oh, he's using Rema, Dr. Batinojo. And I'm like, oh, I think I've heard the name. Like through that, I got to know you through God thing. He linked me up to you. And I got to know I mean, how you work. Frankly speaking, at the beginning, it might seem slow, But when you take your pace, I'll say you took it. You know,
Yeah. So, I mean, part of the question has been answered.
Yeah.
She actually was the one who got to know of you, and she suggested that we deal with you when the as she was saying, the other company that we were working with, she was even the one doing everything, and then I don't know what they were doing. And to tell the truth, when we came to you, you only asked for her. I think the only thing you asked from her was
oh,
okay, she's here. Yeah,
so
continue. Mhm.
so through that, that's how I got to know Rhemma. And when I contacted you, you just assured me that with what I have, everything was going to work out and it was going to be easy. That assurance alone was one thing. And how you handled everything with getting my information. In fact, some of the information you provided, I didn't know I had that information about me. I didn't even know how I carried weight. So you made me know how I carried weight. I mean, through my past experience at work, my school, and everything. So when this opportunity came, I discussed with you because it was also another route of getting our green card. So I mentioned it to you, and you were willing to help. Though my husband would do some like basically like quite slow, but I
Wait.
kept pushing. Yeah, you know how men act. They sometimes think we women are so ambitious, we overthink, but sometimes you need to push for things to get done. So I mentioned it to him, and knowing the good work you have done, he actually saw me through my process during the NIW. So he actually knew how you have contributed. I made him read some of the things, and he saw some credit, as I mentioned, that I didn't even know I carried that much. He would just call me and let me know. I think I saw this information about you with um, CBC. I'm like, really? My name is CBC? How? I mean, that's how. So you had more information about me than I even knew about myself. So through that, I got to know how Rhemma is. And I must say that I've recommended you to a lot of people. And I know some might have contacted you and all that. And I keep preaching the good work of Rhemma. When you say it, I'll just say, when you say you act, you put pressure sometimes. Sometimes you don't respond on time, but when you do respond, it's back to back. Like,
Yeah. For context, Augustina holds two distinct advanced degrees. She has a Master's of Science in Plant Pathology, and she also has a Master's of Philosophy in molecular biology. Yeah, I think, yeah. And before that, she also holds a Bachelor of Science in Laboratory Technology. And currently, she is a PhD candidate in microbiological sciences at NDSU. She's a top notch. She has worked on so many important projects. She's been very nice and quiet. Worked on NIFA projects, CDC, US Department of Defense, so many things. I know that very soon her NIW might get approved and she owes me an interview, even though she doesn't need it now. She still owes me an interview. So thank you for taking the time to explain it. So yeah, I actually was working with Tina, and then the husband got the diversity picked, and then that is how I got to know the husband. So thank you for sharing that. So would you describe the support that you received from Rhemma good enough for you for the adjustment process? Like what were your biggest concerns about adjusting the status for your spouse and the children?
Yeah, sure. So, as she rightly said, now that she has mentioned, I have to confess that when I got selected, and I thought it was an easy process. I thought it was just kind of filling a form and then submitting. I didn't know there was more to that. And so initially I was like, oh, well, we could do it. People have been doing themselves. But later I got to know that even people do it, people win and they get rejected. I was like, oh, okay. Since he's already working with you, and then that you just talk to him about it, and you were like, okay, yeah, we can do that, and then you even recommended that we pause on the NIW, and then focus on this one. But we wanted to cast our net wide, and you see, that I'm saying this because I want people to know that you are not interested in the money, because you could have still proposed we do both. You said no, come on, this is direct. So let's focus on this one, and then put a hold on the NIW. And we hadn't paid for that yet. But we said no, we opted that, okay, we don't know how this one is going to end up. Probably this one is going. So we decided that, okay, let's go for the two. So yes, that is one point. The other point was, after I got to know that we can be rejected, and I'm saying this, that probably we could have been rejected, because some of the things that you made us do, or I wouldn't have known, or I wouldn't have done it. Even filling the form initially, everything that we did was even wrong, and then we had to do a Zoom video call, and you had to take us through each path from one to where, one by one, to make sure that everything was right. And as I said earlier, it looks like whatever you did with us, that is the reason why we may have been exempted, or our interview was waived. Because I feel you knew what you were doing, and everything that we did, the documents you made us, even some of the things that I thought wouldn't be necessary, you made us attach to our forms, our documents that were submitted. And yeah, the process was a bit tedious, because you wanted us to get everything done, and done right. That is how I will say it now. So yes, it was good enough. I mean, it was beyond my expectation. I can say that for sure now. Yeah.
So, just so that people would get to know, some people don't even know about the diversity visa. So for those who this may be the first time hearing, like how do you apply for it? Just so that people get to know a little bit about how to enter the diversity visa lottery.
Yeah, and that's very good, because as I said, when we tried it for the first time, the second time I didn't want to do it, because I thought, oh no, it's going to be the same old story. So why, let's just focus on other alternate, or your NIW, and maybe probably that's where our chance will shine. But it's easy. It's just you have to make sure that you go straight to the USA, the genuine site. You fill a form that doesn't even take about it takes about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you upload a picture of yourself, and that is it. I know initially you need to add your I think your passport or something,
But
but now you
yep,
don't even need it. You don't need that. All you need is your name. I mean, some demographic information about you, and your passport picture, and that's it. And then you submit. No fees required, no money required, and then you just submit, and then you go about your daily activities and hope for the best. That's it.
yeah, that is true. I do know that the current administration is thinking about the possibility of including a fee while you are submitting. They haven't yet um, finalized on the amount, but I do know that it is possible that in future entries, one may have to pay, unlike the past, where, like Michael was saying, it's been always totally free. But it is possible that maybe moving forward, you may have to pay something. I think what I was hearing is either $250 or 550. But
Wow.
again, none of this is yet confirmed. It's kind of like in discussion. But yeah, until before then, it has always been free. You just enter it. You can even literally it takes, like Michael said, 5 to 8 minutes. If you have all the documents, even it could take you less time because you just provide everything. And even if you put in a passport picture that doesn't work, they'll let you know that the passport picture doesn't work, and then
Yeah.
you can retake another one or use an appropriate one. In terms of eligibility, I think the most simple eligibility is you must come from a country that still is eligible. So not all countries are eligible for the diversity visa, but I do know that Ghana is eligible, and I also know that Nigeria is not eligible. But like India is also not eligible as well. But assuming you come from a country that is eligible, because our audience are not just Ghanaians or Nigerians, or like could be Kenya, uh, Ethiopia, wherever you come from. The first thing is you have to come from a country that is eligible, and that is clearly on the website of the US Department of States. Then after, the second thing is you should have at least you should have a secondary school certification. That is also one of the criteria. And if you don't have the secondary school certification, usually you should have years of experience that can be used as a substitute for the secondary school. Of course, if we use that as a basis, like Michael was saying, he himself, he has a master's degree, which means that he has all of those, and he has been working. Yeah, that's something you didn't even say. You have been working
Yeah.
for a long time
For
in Ghana.
about 18 years before I came here.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
either way, he was qualified, whether high school or work experience, he was more than qualified. Regarding the whole I-485, regardless whether it's diversity visa, EB2, or it's family based, I always say that if you provide a very thorough information with explanations and with exhibits, there is a very good chance that they won't call you in for an interview. Usually, the interviews are meant for them to ask further questions or clarifications, and that you may otherwise have not provided in the initial submission. But if upfront you provide a very detailed organization of your materials and your history, immigration history and education, work experience, your every detail they may probably need. Of course, it's detailed enough that I can't mention all of them on this call. They would usually waive the interview. It's been very common for most of our clients, and we are more than happy to have helped Michael and his wonderful family. 2 kids and wife. Everybody's seeing it because we can see it on your background. Yeah. So, as we get closer to wrapping it up, there are some questions that I have it as final reflection. There are three. So I'm going to ask all of them, and then you take your time to answer, or you can take it one after the other. What would you like to say to Rhemma Consult? If someone is struggling with immigration paperwork or afraid of the process, what would you tell them? And would you recommend Rhemma Consult to others? And if so, why? Um,
Yes, there's one thing for sure that I think stands out with you. You are real. If it's not going to work, you say it's not going to work. If it's going to work, you say it's going to work. Um, you know what you're about. So yeah, even at the post office, we had to do a video call for you to make sure that I put in the right address. I think it was about 45 minutes to 1 hour at the post office.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it took a
And
while.
you
Yeah,
were on video call. I knew you were busy, but you made sure I do the right thing. And even after I sent it, you made me show you the receipt to make sure that I really did the right thing. I appreciate that a lot. You took the process as your own. That's how I saw it because yeah, there are certain things I wasn't even. It wasn't like I didn't look like I was enthused or serious about it. And you call me like the checking of the mail to make sure I get my receipt and other approval letters on time for us to proceed to the next level. So yes, you take your work serious. You are very accommodative. You are very for me, my wife was like you delayed in certain responses, but for me, I think during the process, you never delayed. The moment I send you a message, you respond. Um, I think the only time was when the anxiety set in, but that was where I also saw that you were real. It was like at this stage, all you have to do is to wait for USCIS. There's nothing else we could do. And then there was one thing that you assured us of was, I'm sure it's because of the change of the administration. Otherwise, you were like, even if it's going to take longer, there's another alternate that we could take, and we're willing to take us through that. Um, we thank you for that. We thank you for all the help that Rhemma has given us, and I didn't feel that the money was your main aim. I can say that for sure. I didn't feel that at all. Yeah. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. So if someone is struggling with immigration paperwork or afraid of the process, what would you tell them?
Yeah, you just go to Rhemma. I'm telling you, if he can't do it, he will tell you, and then you can find an alternate. But if he says he will do it, be rest assured, you are the one who is even going to lack because he's going to make sure he is go- you get your value for whatever fee that you are going to pay. So rely on Rhemma. I can say that. If he fails, you come to me.
Pressure,
Yeah.
pressure, pressure.
I know what I'm saying.
Pressure,
If he fails you,
pressure.
you can say, Michael, you asked me to go to Rhemma.
Pressure,
Yeah,
pressure,
it's good.
pressure. Well, thank you for that confidence. I did enjoy working with both of you. Tina normal pressure, but I did enjoy working with both of you. And I'm really excited that now immigration is not an issue for you for the most part, and I think you deserve it either way. And so, congratulations on this big step of yeah, the way. And like I tell all my clients that you still need to keep your head down, keep your head up, and then everything should work out well for the most part in the United States. Usually, we give maybe a minute or two if anyone has a general question. If you want to ask, if it's a question to me, I will try and answer that. And then if it's a question to Michael, he would also try and answer that. So we'll open it up for just 1 or 2 minutes for questions, and then oh, I see that somebody says, "Can I ask a question?" Yes. Okay, go for it.
Hi, my name is Kusum. I'm friend of Joshua Shema. Joshua, I hope you know him. He and I, we work in the same lab, and he and we are in the same batch. So I was trying to reach out to you like from long time. I was trying to call you, but it was like I didn't get like the call answered. But that's fine. I really understand that you are a really busy person. But I also came to know that you are a really good person. You are a really reliable person. So my question is pretty simple. Like, how do we like first start the process? I mean, like, what would be the starting process? I have my master's degree as like Joshua. I have some publications,
Mhm.
and some of my publication are in the process, and I also have like 1 years of experience. So what would you suggest for me to like initially begin the NIW petition process?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. Usually, I would admit that it is a little bit difficult to get me, mostly because I'm working.
Yeah.
But the first point would be to probably go through our website. I just put it in the chat. So we have a website where like there is a contact us. Um, and usually from the contact us we get to talk, and then I get to know more about you. I get to know about what you've been doing, and then
Mm-hmm.
from there I would decide um, whether or not you meet the eligibility based on the field adjudication manual from the USCIS. And
Mm-hmm.
if you do, we'll be more than happy to start your work. Usually, once we start your work, it takes about 1.5 months to 2 months
Mm-hmm.
to complete your work. If you don't mind me asking, where are you from?
I'm from Nepal.
Nepal, nice. Okay, cool. I'll be happy to work with you as well. I've had a couple of clients from Nepal in the past, so I've always enjoyed working with people from Nepal.
Yeah, thank you so
So
much, sir.
you're welcome. Please reach out via the link that I just put in the chat, and then we will get you sorted out as well.
Okay, sure, sure. Definitely, I'll do that. I tried like calling a couple of times, but I know like you are a really busy person, so I can totally understand. But thank you so much for like letting me in the meeting and like answering my question. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing. Okay.
Mr. Martin Ojo, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
I'm on the bus, so sorry for the noise.
Okay.
Yes, then, I was also introduced to you by Joshua
Okay.
Isiama. Yes,
Okay.
we were together at UCC.
Oh, okay. They're one of the best
And your
universities
name,
in Ghana.
your name sounds very familiar because I
I,
know of Honorable Batu as well. But I wanted to find out what does it have to, let's say, does one have to have maybe a master's degree before he or she can start with a NI nominee?
No. So if you have full-time work experience, 5 years. So for someone like Michael, well, Michael already has a master's degree, but assuming Michael didn't have a master's degree and all he had was just his bachelor's degree with his 18 years of work experience, the US government is willing to use the 5 years experience of full-time, not part-time, full-time experience together with a bachelor's degree as a substitute for a master's degree. So the question on whether um, you need a master's degree, it really depends on your qualification. If I look at it and your qualification shows that you have a full-time progressive 5 years experience and a bachelor's degree, the US government is willing to look at that as equivalent to somebody who holds a master's degree. Hopefully, I answered your question, Kofi.
Yes, that's good. The second one is, let's say, I want to know about the areas. Let's say professionally, you are offering something like data science or a STEM program. Does it have to do with a STEM program, non-STEM program, for you to stand a chance of having maybe the opportunity to be selected? Or what does it take? Does it actually depend on what you're doing in
Okay.
terms of education or in terms of the working experience that you have? Does it have to be STEM related or not STEM related?
Okay. Just for clarity, we are talking about the NIW here, right? We are not talking
Yes,
about
I'm still on
diversity.
the.
Okay, cool. Because for the diversity, it's just a randomized thing. So there's no, yeah, okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that I'm on the same, I'm tracking. Yes. So with regards to NIW, it's actually not just for um STEM fields. Like, no, it's not just for STEM fields. Those in the arts are also qualified. In fact, we've had a couple of success in the arts field. We've had a couple of success in history, political science, and all of those people were not in like traditional like STEM program, right? It's all about making an argument on how your expertise is benefiting the United States and what the United States will lose if they don't actually retain you in this country. So I would say no, your field doesn't matter. Of course, depending on how you build the arguments, it could hit or benefit you. But we've had a couple of cases for art students, and we've even had success stories for art students. So I think regardless of your program, we should be able to make a case, provided you qualify. That's one of the things that is really important.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kusum, with your question, I think we should hear from us. Usually we have a 48 hours like maximum, and that's if it's over the weekend. But assuming it was a work day, usually it takes 24 hours to hear back from our side.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah.
No problem, no
Yeah.
problem, no problem. So, well, I personally want to take the opportunity to thank you all for being here. Especially Michael, for taking time out of your busy schedule to share the success story of your I-485 process that you used, and what it also meant for you and then the family. And for those of you who are considering these entire process and considering immigration step, I would always say so seek out the information, seek out the opportunities, whether or not you're going to use Rhemma Consult or not. I've always said that it's not always about money. Like you heard from Michael, I was upfront with Tina that, hey, let's not do NIW. Let's not waste money to do NIW. Let's just go straight and do the diversity. If I was really interested in money, I would say let's do both of them. But I was upfront that let's not waste time. So to me, it's all about seeking out the information and doing these things right and on points. Like try all the possible route, and for the most part, everything should work out well. Um, it's a recorded video, so I would say that hopefully you had the opportunity to learn from it, and you're going to use this opportunity to better yourself and rate yourself. So till we meet somehow again, it's been wonderful having you all, and thank you, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you.